Okay, so hello everyone, and I'm clearly very excited to host the Pink Talk Show because this one is based on one of my personal topics, that is dining table manners and etiquettes. Okay, so whenever we talk about manners or etiquettes in particular, what does come in our mind is that particular set of rules that we have to follow in like any case, so that kind of puts a unnecessary pressure on our mind. But it's not that. Like, manners and etiquettes are sometimes for the people around us, for the people we hang out with. It's about being considerate and respectful towards them. So I'm going to announce the very amazing woman we have with us right now, that is Sashi Jan Dugar. And before telling you all about her, I'm going to welcome her on our show. Welcome, ma'am, on our show.
Thank
And
you. Thank you, Kangsha.
thank you so much. Okay, so I'm going to introduce her to you guys and then I'll stop talking. Okay, after completing her bachelor's degree in accountancy, she persuaded TTT from Image Consulting Business Institute. And having given her 14 plus years in working with IALS Group, designated as the CFO of the group, she has also contributed as team member of TEDx Chaurangi. Currently, she is the job convener of the East Wing of Jito Group, where she helps other women to get their desired jobs. And with all her professional commitment, she also takes several workshops for image building and provide right opportunity to other people for their reinvention of image. Again, I couldn't be more excited to welcome you, ma'am, on our show.
Thank you. Hello and good evening to everyone. I'm so glad to be here today with Pinkish Foundation. They are doing amazing work. So they are an NGO focused on the development and well-being of women. And I'm so proud to be here today. Uh, I hope you all are doing well in this pandemic. I know things are bad, but I hope you all are keeping well. Yes. Thank you, Kangsha, for having me over. Thank you,
All
Ruchi.
our pleasure. Thank you. Okay, so before starting with the questions, I would like to mention few things. जैसा कि हम सब जानते हैं कि इस talk show में we have two prizes. That is, one is giveaway prize, जो आपके क्वेश्चंस पे बेस्ड होगा, दैट इज हमारी जो ऑडियंस है उनके क्वेश्चंस पे बेस्ड होगा. सो मेक श्योर यू गिव योर बेस्ट क्वेश्चंस आउट. एंड द सेकंड वुड बी आर लकी विनर. तो ये दोनों चीजें हम अपनी सेशन के एंड में आपको बताएंगे. एंड मूविंग टूवर्ड्स शशि मैम, I will start with a very basic question, yet very important. That is, what is dining table manners and etiquettes? Like, जब भी हम बात करते हैं, it's very important to know few basic things कि होता क्या है ये. So, if you can tell our audience about it.
So, first of all, Akanksha, I would speak about etiquette because we don't even know what is etiquette. We have misconceptions or myths about etiquette. So, etiquette is a French word which means a ticket. Okay. So, etiquette is a collection of little reminders to help people understand the appropriate behavior in a society, what society accepts out of them. So these are standard rules for appropriate behavior. So now many people will think it is for show off. It is a status symbol. But no, it is not for the benefit of others. It is not a show off. It is valuing yourself, respecting yourself, and having value and concern for others. We all want to feel valued, right? We all love that. But you
Absolutely.
always have to give to get. Like,
Right.
Akanksha, if I ask you a question, you have to withdraw 1 lakh rupees from your bank account. How can you withdraw? You can
I
only withdraw
probably.
if you have some deposits. If you have some
Yeah, right.
deposits, then only
Right.
you can withdraw, right? We always have
Right.
to deposit to withdraw. So always give to get. So give value, give respect, have concern for others, and then you also get valued. So it is about respect. Different countries have different cultures, they have different etiquette rules, but the basic foundation is respect. So I think if we have three core values or ethics or values like kindness, kindness is very important. If you have empathy, kindness, and basic respect for others, then I think 50% of the etiquette part is done. आपको सिखाने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. Because when you understand others, when you have empathy for others, when you respect and value others, you understand क्या करना है क्या नहीं. So what goes around comes around. If today you don't behave properly with others, there will definitely come a situation in life when it will happen with you. So treat others and behave with others the way you want to be treated. So, this is what I majorly wanted to speak about etiquette. Now, dining etiquette, it is not just, about the table manners. It is about consideration. It is about feelings. It is about respect for each other. It's like family time. It's like friends time. So it is about everything that is polite in a society. So, of course, when we go through the session, there will be many points that I'll be covering. So, it is basically you are eating properly, you're following some rules, some etiquette, you are valuing yourself and you're respecting others so that everyone is comfortable. Comfort is the word. Till I am not comfortable with you, there cannot be any communication or any relationship, business, personal, professional, nothing. Because we all want to feel comfortable. We work with people we are comfortable with. So you
Yeah,
are making
exactly.
yourself comfortable. And with a basic, a very strong foundation of etiquette, you are confident in any situation, any with unknown people, with new situations, you're always confident because your base is solid. It's sound. Yeah.
Yeah, totally agree to your point. And like you said, जैसा आपने बोला कि you have to be kind, comfortable, and that's why etiquettes are important, right? तो what if अगर हम suppose किसी dinner पे जाते हैं and we find someone new over there and they're not following certain etiquettes we as a human being should follow actually. So how do we intrude? Should we intrude or not is also a question. And how do we ask them, like if things are making us uncomfortable, like we are sitting on a table, वो हमें वो चीजें अच्छी नहीं लग रही जो वो कर रहे हैं. So how do we just politely ask them कि hey, this is the thing, without making them feel embarrassed in front of like whole lot of people? So what would you say on that?
So that is more on, basic etiquette, I think, and humanity and empathy. See, of course, we have to be always polite, and I believe in always being assertive and not blaming others, because when you're blaming
Right,
someone, you're pointing, four fingers towards yourself.
right,
So
right.
when you're trying to point out something, of course, don't do it in a group, though they will feel disrespected and embarrassed. Maybe you may get a situation where you may speak, one on one with that person, and you may politely say that, I am not comfortable or I am not feeling good about it. So can you please, not do this or that? I don't know the particular situation that you have in mind. There may be many situations, but someone is
Right.
talking like food, with food in her or his mouth,
Yeah.
okay, and वो आपके ऊपर गिर गया. So you
Right.
you don't feel good about it. It is not hygiene. So of course, if the person is sitting just next to you or just close by, you can politely say that, when you're talking with the food in your mouth, you know मुझ पे आ रहा है and I'm not comfortable. Can you be,
Okay. Yeah.
polite enough not to talk when you are
Got it.
speak, what not to talk when you are eating.
Eating.
So it depends on the situation, but empathy is very important. Being polite is very important, and always say I. I am not. Don't say that you are eating like this. You are making me uncomfortable. Not you, you, you. It should be I. It is about myself. I may feel uncomfortable, and I may express. I have the right to express politely. I may be assertive. I cannot be aggressive.
Yeah.
So I think that would be the tip. And as per your own, it's common sense, and as per your relationship with that person. Sometimes you
Yeah.
just have to ignore and come back because you don't know that person, and maybe you'll never again meet that person. See, sometimes we have to ignore. Sometimes you can counter, or we can approach that person depending on your relationship. So there
Okay.
are many factors involved actually.
Okay. Got your point. So
I
this
hope
is
I
for our
answered your question.
absolutely. So this also goes to our audience that whenever you face something like this, please be kind towards the other person also. And yeah. So coming to the second question, third question actually. Whenever we talk about certain etiquettes or manners, हर चीज का अपना sign, अपनी language होती है, as we all know.
Right.
And same applies here also. So can you just tell us about different sign and languages we use in dining table etiquettes and manners that sends out the message and people are using out in the world also?
Okay, so first of all, the setting of the table, the cutlery also, speaks. They also
Yeah.
have messages to give. So how the cutlery is placed when you are in a resting position or when you are in a final position, when you finished eating, that is also a way to signal something. So first of all, I'll start with the basics. The forks and the knives and spoons. Okay, so whatever the word which starts with five, this is a quick tip that I'm giving. The words which start, which are five lettered, they will be on the right, and on the left will be the four lettered words. So we always are confused ki fork kahan hoga, knife or spoon kahan hoga. So see, knife, KNIFE, five letter word, it's on the right. Spoon, SPOON, five letter word, it's on the right. Fork is on the left. It is a four letter word. So that's
Okay.
the smartest and a quick tip that I would give. So always the fork will be on the left and the knives and spoons will be on the right. The thing to understand is that cutlery is always arranged in the order the food will be served and you're supposed to eat. So it will be from outside to inside. Suppose we are first served a salad. Okay, so for the salad you need a fork. So the salad fork will be on the left hand side outside, and then will come the main dinner fork, because after that you're going to eat with the fork. Okay, first will be the salad fork and then will be the dinner fork. On the right, if you see, if you are served soup first, you have to eat soup first. The soup spoon will be there in the order first, and then you'll get the dinner knife. Okay, so cutlery is always arranged in the order it is going to be served and it is going to be used by you. So be smart. So when we go to five-star hotels or other places where there's a proper, full course dinner, then you have to always be smart to understand that the cutlery that is outside, that is going to be used first, right? And if they are going to serve dessert or something, they'll be serving the dishes and the spoons that time. So now, talking about the cutlery position. So when you are eating and you want to show to the wait staff or the or others or the host that you are in a resting position, you've not finished, then there are two styles actually. There's one American style and there's one continental style. So in the American style, what you do is the prongs of the fork are facing upwards, and it is on the side, and the knife is at the brim of the plate. If you can see, just is it visible?
Yeah, yeah, it is visible actually.
So see the
Okay.
fork with the prongs up, it is on the side, and
Mm-hmm.
the knife is resting with the blade facing inwards. The blade of the knife will
Okay.
always face inwards. So
Okay.
it's on the side. This is the resting position in the American setting. Okay. And when you're finished eating, the cutlery comes at 4 o'clock position. The knife of the blade facing inwards, the prongs of the tongue facing upwards. And can you see it is the 4 o'clock position? So
Yeah.
10 o'clock, 4 o'clock. If you see the clock, घड़ी आप देखो तो 10 और 4. So that is roughly the position, 4 o'clock position.
Got it.
Now,
Got it.
in the continental style, the resting position is the fork rests on the knife. Can you see that?
Okay. Yes, it's visible.
and,
Yeah.
and the prongs are facing downwards. Okay, this is the
Okay.
resting position. Mean you're waiting for the next course and you're not finished. When you're finished, it is again the 4 o'clock position, but the prongs are facing downwards. Wait, 10 baje,
Okay.
4 baje. 10,
Got
10
it.
and 4 o'clock. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
these are the resting and the finishing positions. So these are few symbols which you can use to show that, are you waiting or are you finished with your food?
Okay.
Rest, of course, you always have to speak. You cannot, like some people say, "Arey, Bombaya
Yeah.
style"
Right.
and all that. Come here, "Arey, uh, uh, क्या बेटा, छोटू छोटू, ऐसा, people say that,
Yeah,
especially you'll
yeah,
see in
yeah.
dhabas and all. So that is highly disrespectful. आप या तो नाम बोलो, right? You can see the names
Yeah, right.
always वहां पे रहते हैं, आजकल
Always.
उनका नेम टैग रहता है. You can address the person with the name, or या फिर excuse me, please, thank you, all that has to be used. It cannot be just calling अरे, and with the cutlery in hand, and you'll never speak or talk to anyone. अच्छा, are you coming? अच्छा, I was going there. This is not
Yeah,
done. You
yeah.
place the cutlery, the silverware on the on your plate, and when you speak, you're not using all these, pointing silverware to others or yourself. So I think these
Okay.
are few tips, and rest you have to speak. You have to be polite. You have to use lots of thank yous and
Always.
please,
Yeah.
even to the wait staff, the server.
Right, right. Do you also want to talk about the sounds we create while eating or simply while sitting there? So,
Yes. So
yeah, I would.
So of course, when you're chewing, your mouth should be closed. It shouldn't be like मुंह खोल के आप मत खाओ, because it makes sounds which may be irritating to others. Okay, you have to chew slowly. Of course, हमने हमेशा ही सीखा है कि आप खाने को पानी की तरह खाओ, पानी की तरह पियो, और
Yeah.
पानी को खाने की तरह खाओ, क्योंकि आपको
Right.
धीरे धीरे पानी होता है. यू टू ड्रिंक इन स्मॉल सिप्स, छोटे छोटे सिप लेने हैं आपको. एंड व्हेन यू ईटिंग, ईट स्लोली, स्मॉल बाइट्स, एंड च्यू प्रॉपर्ली, because it is good for your digestion also. So खाने को पानी की तरह पियो. Okay. You cannot talk with food in your mouth, and the slurping, the sound, हमें मजा आता है. सी, टपरी की चाय पियो. सो पीपल इन कोलकाता विल अंडरस्टैंड बलवंत सिंह की चाय या शर्मा की चाय. आई एम श्योर दिल्ली में भी ऐसा होगा, कोई ना कोई ढाबा होगा फेमस,
Yeah,
और द
yeah.
चाय
Sudama ki chai. Sudama ki chai we have. Yeah.
तो वहां पे आप ले रहे हो, आप फ्रेंड्स के साथ, यू आर जस्ट चिलिंग आउट. That is okay. We
Yeah.
are talking about dining etiquette. We are talking about
Right.
fine dining etiquette and table manners. So if you are having tea in a coffee shop, in a professional setting, maybe your boss has called you over tea, coffee, or many meetings happen over coffee and tea at cafes nowadays. If you see, most of the people prefer cafes for meetings, because most of them are entrepreneurs, and now in pandemic, many people are just working from home, right? So when you're having tea, the sound that you make while stirring, and when you're adding sugar. So if you'll see, if you're adding sugar, I don't have the cup right now. So if you just go round and round, then it makes a noise. It'll make a noise. But if you move like 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, if you move the spoon like that and you mix the sugar, then it
Okay.
doesn't make that sound or noise. Just try it at home,
Okay, I
and you
did not
definitely,
know this.
yeah. So हम
I
ऐसे गोल गोल घुमाते हैं ना, so it makes a lot of, that clinging sound of the
Yeah, yeah,
the
right, right.
spoon and the cup. But if you move it, just 12 बजाओ, 6 बजाओ. I'm using the clock a lot, so आप 12 बजाओ, 6 बजाओ, and you'll see it doesn't make that much of sound. So slurping, of course, मजा आ रहा है, but in a professional meeting or when you are in a social gathering, जो पास में बैठा है उसके लिए सोचिए, ऐसे आप आवाजें करके पी रहे हो. So but of course, see, when you are out with elderly people, I am also sharing this because I have faced myself. When I go with my grandparents or parents outside, they, because of the age, they don't have their teeth and other reasons, they make that sound. Please, that is completely acceptable, because you cannot change them at this age. After, I know someone who's so elderly, till 70 he never used to make such sounds. After 70, when I went to meet him, I was eating with him, he was all of a sudden making noises. So one or twice I बोलते हैं टोका कि हाँ ऐसे मत
Yeah,
करिए
right.
ऐसे, because I was close and I could, but I realized that no. So empathy हमेशा रखो, empathy, kindness, keep that in mind. Etiquette है, but the situation आप देखो, be a human being first and then the rest. I feel so. So these are
Yeah.
personally my views. सबके अपने अपने व्यूज हैं, बट एल्डरली पीपल के लिए ऑफ कोर्स कोई बोलेगा अरे उनको कैसे सिखाएं, नॉट रिक्वायर्ड. बट
Right.
इफ वी आर इन अ प्रोफेशनल मीटिंग, देन नो स्लर्पिंग, नो बर्पिंग. ऑफ कोर्स आएगा तो आपको करना है, बट यू डोंट मेक सच अ लाउड नॉइज. Okay, so no burping, no slurping, and the way you move the spoon and you mix the sugar, that is also important. So I think that is all about the noises. Yeah.
Yeah, so this was especially the clock thing was very important. I'll keep that I'll keep that in mind. 4 o'clock and then 12 and 6, because I personally did not know about this 12 and 6, and up till now I was using the whole sound thing only. I guess most of us do that without knowing, and we don't realize it that it is making a sound that might be a sort of problem for other people.
Yeah.
So that was very helpful. Thank you so much. And moving towards next question, since we are all going through pandemic and everything, our security and safety is the utmost priority right now. And since we are going to parties these days and maybe marriages and everything, तो हम वहां जाकर के there's this buffet. What do we do about it? Because we do we do see lot of people not handling the buffet how it should be handled, या वहां पे अगर कोई धक्का दे रहे एक दूसरे को, and then there's no kind of distancing and no manners sometimes. So do you want to talk about that also?
Yes, I think it's a very relevant and good question, Akanksha, because when we are generally invited for gatherings or weddings or some invitation where we are always in a group and the food is served in buffet style. So it is very important to know the do's and the don'ts. So that, as I'll stress on the fact, respect for yourself, respect for others. And now, because of the pandemic, it is all the more important to maintain hygiene and be very cautious. Okay, because आप खुद ही नहीं, आप दूसरों को भी डेंजर में डाल रहे हो, right? So
True.
that responsibility of self awareness has to be there. So first of all, when the buffet starts, people just rush to the buffet table as if बस खाना खत्म ही होने वाला है. So खाना है, सबके लिए है, don't worry. See, the food is served, so you don't jump the line. You maintain that queue and you don't start in between. कहीं से भी जाके आपने शुरू कर दिया, no, it is not done. You follow the line, you maintain the queue, and you go step by step, starting from the salad and the appetizers, the starters, and then the main course. So it is all served in a proper way. Okay, so don't jump the line, don't push others, maintain safe distance. Okay,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
in pandemic it is very important to understand that how you're serving the food on your plate and how are you touching things, right? So of course sanitizer and all I'm not covering, it has to be used and you have to take proper precautions as per COVID specifications. So when you are serving on your dish, if you have served something on your dish, you cannot keep it back. Like आपने पापड़ उठाया, आपने दो गलती से उठा लिया, and you feel अरे अरे मुझे तो एक ही खाना है, I want to keep it back. No, it is not allowed because something that has come on your plate has to be on your plate. I know it will be wasted, but it is unhygienic कि आपकी प्लेट से आप वापस कुछ डाल रहे हो because others are going to eat. You have to think about others' hygiene, right? So whatever comes to your plate, it doesn't go back. When you're using the serving spoon, don't touch on your plate. You have to
Okay.
serve with a
Yeah.
keeping a little bit of distance so that it doesn't touch your plate because you're going for the second helping, you're going for the third helping. आपकी plate झूठी है. It is used. You cannot be touching the serving spoons on your plate. See, these are very small things. We all know that, but भूल जाते हैं हम लोग. We don't follow it completely, right? करते करते बात करते होते you're talking to your friend and आप हो जाता है. So these are very important things. And when you are using the serving spoon, then again don't keep it in the serving dish only where the cuisine is there. There are dishes or there are certain utensils which are provided to keep the spoons back, the handles that you're using to serve. Okay, so then as I said, don't jump the line, follow proper social distancing, and don't start eating in the buffet queue itself. लगता है अरे सैलेड लिया है अभी तक तो जाते
Yeah.
जाते बहुत टाइम है. सो पीपल स्टार्ट
Right.
ईटिंग क्यूकम्बर खा लिया, टमेटो खा लिया कि खड़े हैं क्या करें. नो,
Right.
you
Right.
cannot eat when you are standing in the queue. and don't heap your plate कि अरे वापस आना पड़ेगा, you have to stand in the queue again, it will take so much of time and trouble, एक साथ सारा भर लो, so doesn't look good, the plate doesn't look good, it is heaped, कभी आपका चेहरा ही कवर हो जाएगा खाने से. So take second helping, third helping, be polite, whatever you touch you should keep it in your plate only, and kuch bhi jhootha doesn't go back. I think these are the, and you don't talk and you gossip near the buffet table because you are making that place congested. Okay, so when you
Yeah.
are done with your serving, you come back and you give that space to others so that they can move easily and be comfortable and serve. I think
Right.
these are the few points that I would mention. And don't start in between. Hamesha, you have to follow the rules and regulations. Rest, I think the cutlery is there on the table, or the dessert, wherever the dessert is there, the dessert spoon and knives are there. So you use proper cutlery and you follow the dining etiquette and table manners that we are talking about. The rest is all same, but of course the queue and all that has to be followed. I feel
Yeah.
that is, yeah, very important.
Important. Again, it comes all back to being considerate and respectful towards other people, and especially these days in pandemic. Apart from being respectful, you have to take care of yourself and other people's security also, safety. So yeah, now we'll move to the second part of our program. And before that, I would like you guys to check out the YouTube page of Pinkish Foundation, and you can go like and subscribe our channel. Okay, moving towards next part where we'll ask, हम अपने ऑडियंस से ये पूछेंगे, उनके क्वेश्चंस हम मैम को बताएंगे एंड देन शी विल आंसर. एंड गाइस, डोंट फॉरगेट दैट there is a prize on questions also at the end of the session. So ask questions, as many questions as you like. So we'll start with the questions now.
Yeah.
Okay, so Riya Singh Verma ji पूछती हैं, मैम I have two questions. One is, why table manners important regardless of age and status in life? Second is, how does table manners reflect our personality?
So, first question, can you just repeat it once?
Yeah. First question is, why table manners important regardless of age and status in life? This is
Okay, so
yeah,
I think
asked by yeah.
yeah, I think I answered this question. It is not a status symbol, so definitely it's not related to status. Dining etiquette and table manners are required in every walk of life, in all the fields. Whether so, if you want to be, see, as I said, what is etiquette? It is a ticket. So when you go to a theater or a movie, or now if you attend virtual events, also, what do you need? A ticket, right? So it is. It gives you the entry to that place to be a part of that event or that organization. So similarly, etiquette is that ticket which gives you that entry into maybe an organization, maybe your friend circle, maybe a social circle, maybe your peer group in office, any gathering, any organization, any meeting, one on one also. If you want to become a good friend, if I want to become good friends with Akanksha, I have to get that entry into her life, right? So
Right.
when I respect her, when I value her, I show her concern. I'm not just talking about dining etiquette, it is about etiquette in totality. Okay. So it is very important you get that ticket or that entry into that place because of your good manners, because of your consideration, because of the value you give to others. So personal, professional, social, in all fields. Ab ghar mein bhi, if some guest has come and you don't serve properly, right? If
Right.
you don't
Right.
maintain hygiene, will that person come again to your house? Or vice versa. If you go to a friend's place, you see that the table is dirty, it is not set properly, कोई भी झूठा उठा रहा है, कुछ भी खा रहा है, people are fighting on the table, arguing on the table, not following decorum and not being organized. Do you think you'll go to that place the second time? Will you go for dinner or lunch to that person's house? Just think about it. हम बोलेंगे अरे यार नहीं बाहर ही मिल लेते हैं. No, she doesn't maintain hygiene, her house is not clean, no, we will not go to your house. So
Okay.
it is required in every aspect of life, in every walk of life. It is not about status, it is not about profession. Being a homemaker also, I call so many, I invite people at home, my relatives, my friends, right? So it is required everywhere. The second question, Akanksha.
Just a second. So, the second question, just a second. I would need the second part of the first question. Thank you. How does table manners reflect our personality?
Okay, so if I am organized and you come to my house, you see that everything is set, everything is prim and proper, everything is neat. So you understand I am a very organized person. So if you have a meeting with your boss or it is an interview for getting the next job, the way you are sitting, the posture is also important. So dining
Right.
etiquette is not just about eating, keeping your back straight. So when you are drinking, you don't bend up. The face is, in the normal position, and you bring the glass to your mouth. And when you're eating, you don't bend so much. You keep your posture correct, so it shows your confidence. See, I'm sitting like this, and I'm sitting like
Yeah.
this. Can you see the
Right.
difference? If I'm slouched, and
Yeah.
and if I'm sitting like this, so the posture, the seating position, all that also plays a very important role. And when I am mixing the sugar and I'm not making any sound, that person is observing, that person is watching every detail, right? So you see
Absolutely.
that the person realizes, अरे इसको इतना भी ध्यान है कि I shouldn't make that sound. So this person
Right.
is empathetic, kind, concerned. That person has values, ethics,
Right.
right? So organized है, cleanliness है, hygiene है, respect है. So all these add to your profile. Don't you think you'll be impressed by a person?
Absolutely.
Apart from the technical skills, the soft skills are very important. As I always say, etiquette and good manners can open doors which the best education cannot.
Exactly.
Sometimes, so
Right.
I'll just give an example to just answer her, and maybe she'll get more clarity. So if there are two people coming for an interview, you are in the interview panel. So both of them are engineers, both are from IIT Kharagpur. Just suppose the best, the best of the college, and they have acquired almost the same grades. But one person is organized, has soft skills, has empathy,
Right.
kindness, is organized, is hygienic, is clean, and the other person has come shabbily dressed, the nails are not cut, uh, the posture is not okay, the confidence in eyes is not there, the politeness in the conversation is not there, not respectful. Which person would you choose? A or B? A who has soft skills, and B who doesn't have soft skills. Soft skills includes all these aspects, the etiquette part,
Yeah.
right?
A.
So I hope I
Obviously.
answered the question. So it is required in every field. It is not about only, corporate or white collar jobs. No.
Right.
As a homemaker also you need it. As a student also, if you have to go for an interview, you need it. Campus to corporate placements, you may be called to a branch for interviews. In your professional life, if you are going for a promotion or an interview to a different organization, there also you have your etiquette and soft skills in place, then you stand out,
Yeah.
right? So
That is true.
बहुत important है, it's very important.
Okay. I hope you have got your answer. Now we are moving to next question. This is Purnima Chhabra. So Purnima Chhabra ji has asked that sometimes we meet people who are behaving in a certain way and have different etiquettes. They are not wrong but different from us. Okay. So why this difference becomes a matter of disrespect for someone, and how we can increase acceptance to someone's behavior until they are actually wrong. Should I repeat it for you, ma'am?
No, no, I can read the question. Now it is coming on the
Okay.
screen. So it is good.
Okay, great.
So sometimes we meet people who are behaving in a certain way and have different etiquette. Actually, this question is not clear. If she could give one example, then it would have been better. But different etiquette, as I said, I gave an example of elderly people slurping and making those sounds, but I am going to be considerate. Or if someone has come from a village, I'll just give an example from rural
Yeah.
area, and that person doesn't know. जो मेरे ही रिलेटिव हैं जो राजस्थान में रहते हैं एकदम रिमोट विलेज में, so when they come they don't know about the dining etiquette, they don't know कैसे रेस्टोरेंट में खाना, because they've never been there. So it is
Right.
completely okay. जब तक कि hygiene and respect नहीं होता है affected, I think it is quite okay. So people will say कि हाथ से भी खाना खाते हैं, so let them eat with their hand. But when you're eating with your hands also, there's a rule that you don't use your palm, you just use the fingers, and that too 1/3 of the fingers, just 1/3 of the fingers, you don't use the
Okay.
entire hand. अभी आप रोटी खा रहे हो तो आप बोलोगे कि यार उसको नाइफ एंड फोक से तो नहीं खाएंगे. Of course you'll use just one hand, you'll use your thumb and the index finger and the middle finger, the fingers and the thumb to tear that roti.
Got it.
ठीक है?
Yeah.
So you will eat
Right.
with your hand. You don't use your left hand until and unless you really need it. Otherwise it's on your lap. तो अगर वो हाथ से खा रहे हैं तो ठीक है, सिर्फ हाथ पूरे गंदे ना करें. And like if you are eating and then you're passing the glass with the same hand, so your hands are dirty, you're holding the glass with so the glass is also smeared. So these are small things that we need to take care. And अगर नहीं आता तो आप उनको बोल सकते हो, but I think you have to be empathetic and understanding till they are not disrespecting you. You can take it, and सिखाने में कोई नुकसान नहीं. If the person is ready to accept and open to learning, then in a very polite way you can. But different countries have different cultures. So in Japan, if you eat the soup and you make a sound, it is like appreciation that the
Okay.
soup is tasty. But हम
Okay.
यहाँ पे ऐसे करेंगे तो it will be like अरे ये कितना आवाज कर रही है. So
Right.
different
Okay.
countries have different cultures. They come from different demography. They come from different cultural background. So it is completely okay. And we are talking about fine dining etiquette. We are not talking about following all the rules at home all the time. If you have gone out for fun with your friends, you will not follow all this, na?
Yeah.
So depends on the situation. But कहीं पे भी किसी का disrespect मत करो. मैं बार-बार maybe I am repeating myself, but it is important, I feel.
No, it is important. Like at the end of the day, it is very important to not disrespect someone because then वो topic, वो motive ही हट जाता है. So
Right.
yeah, got your point.
And it's about hygiene and valuing others and nothing else. And
Yeah,
concern about others. Yeah. Being considerate and concerned.
absolutely. Thank you. Okay. So next question would be, this is by Anjali Jain. Okay, so Anjali Jain ji is asking that what all basic etiquettes would you suggest we should implement in our daily lives?
Okay. So ये तो बहुत broad subject है, but definitely I'll cover the things which I find very relevant. So in India especially, I would say that we don't appreciate people, we don't acknowledge people, we don't greet people also. So if in Western countries, or you'll find that people say good morning to the taxi drivers also, to the auto drivers also, to the to the salesperson at the grocery shop also, at the cash counter also. How many of us follow this? Just think about it. So saying thank you or saying please, this is very important. So acknowledging, greeting everyone. If you are not even saying something, a smile is enough. A smile is
Right.
enough. So even if you're, I'll just give examples, because I stayed in a hotel. It's a 5-star hotel, and I was in the elevator with someone. So I smiled at the other person. The other person didn't smile because he or she didn't know me. But this is very basic. आप एक ही elevator में खड़े हो, and it is taking 2-3 minutes to go from one floor to the
Great.
other. Then you smile, or you wish good morning. Even if you just
Yeah.
smile, it is enough. So
Right.
greeting everyone, appreciating others. We are misers. हम बहुत कंजूस हैं. किसी को बोल दे अरे you are looking good तो अरे नहीं. So appreciate, greet, say thank you. If someone has gifted you, say thank you. Right? If someone has done something for you, pass the food also. The wait staff also. Coming back to dining etiquette, the server, always say thank you, always say please. इट इज नॉट कि अच्छा ये तो रेस्टोरेंट में काम कर रहा है, इसको तो मुझे सर्व भी करना है और मैं टिप भी दे रही हूँ, इसको तो करना ही होगा. नो, दे आर ऑल ह्यूमन बीइंग्स. So humanity
Yeah.
is very important. And see, if you have the basic core values and ethics in place, then it's really important. Then other things, I would say, I would cover virtual meetings in this, because we all are. I think as she's asking about basic etiquette, see,
Yeah, in
rest.
our daily life.
There's so many things. What all I cover, I don't know, but I think this is missing big time. The greeting and the thank you, appreciation.
Right.
Apart from that, the cell phone etiquette is very important. I'll cover that. I'll cover virtual meetings, because we are using cell phones big time and we don't know that we're disrespecting the other person.
Yeah.
So if you are talking to me and I'm continuously on the phone, scrolling my phone, replying to my messages, and I have come to meet you, so you're wasting your time, you're wasting my time. We have to respect others' time. So when you're using cell phone, be careful. When you are with the person, be 100% with that person. If you are going to an auditorium or to a theater or somewhere where there's public, please keep your phone on silent mode. If you're expecting a very urgent call, or there may be some emergency, then keep it on vibration, preferred silent, so that you're not disturbing others. मैं एक दिन फिल्म देखने गई, अचानक से किसी का रिंगटोन बजा, माँ का फोन आया, माँ का फोन, आई वाज लाइक, क्या है?
Yeah,
So would you
right,
like
right.
that? You are watching a film, there's an intense scene going on, and बीच में ऐसा phone बजता है. So keep the phone on silent, respect others' time. Um, Next, email etiquette, Alka. I'm just covering few points
Yeah,
so
sure,
that we
sure.
touch upon everything. Email etiquette. So, when do you send mails? What should be the format? You should be respectful. And on social media also, I'll say that because on Messenger, I feel people 12 बजे मुझे hello लिख देते हैं, and then the next morning they say you didn't reply. I said I don't reply to people after 10 p.m. unless it is urgent or there's an
Yeah,
emergency. So just
right,
because a person is online, you don't have the right to just ping that person at any point of time. क्योंकि वो online है, वो कोई भी वजह से हो सकता है. But you
right,
have no right to disrespect the privacy of a person. So be careful. What is the time that you are messaging someone? If it is professional, keep it 10 to 6, maximum 8, 9, not beyond that. Right? And you cannot question someone कि आप online हो फिर भी आप जवाब नहीं दे रहे हो.
right, right.
These
Very
are real
important.
time situations that I'm faced, and I think people will find it relevant. So I'm sharing that. Then I'll come to virtual meetings because we have to take many questions. So I'll just quickly
Yeah,
brush upon it. That, of course, there also you keep the. I've kept my phone on silent right now also, because this may disturb this session.
right, very
Okay,
right.
keep the phone on silent mode, and if you have disturbance in the background, then of course you have to be mute on virtual meetings.
Right,
Okay, then if you it's always good to put the video on, because it's a virtual meeting, you feel the personal, that human connection if the video is on. But if your network is not okay, then you can just type the message or send the message that I have a bad network, so I've kept the video off. Okay.
okay.
And if there's someone at the door and you have to go, you are all alone and you have to collect the delivery, कुछ भी आया, Amazon आया है, खाना आया है, Swiggy आया है, so you can always type the message that I'll be right back, so that people know. Otherwise someone may be calling, अरे Shashi, are you there? And they may be
Yeah,
asking
right,
question, and आप वो Swiggy का delivery लेने गए हो. So
right,
write that message, and don't carry the baggage of the day to the meetings. You may have had
okay,
a fight at home, या फिर कोई stress रहा होगा. Don't carry that baggage. Be
right,
responsive, participate in the activities, and the most important thing, last but not the least, be punctual. इन वर्चुअल
yeah,
मीटिंग्स हम सोचते हैं क्या है, जूम ही तो है, 7 की जगह 7:10 पे आ जाएंगे, क्या फर्क पड़ता है. बट सी, इफ यू
right,
आर अ गेस्ट and you're just attending as a guest, it is still okay. It's not okay, but still I give you that discount, that it is okay. But if it's a professional meeting and you have a meeting with your boss or a client or even a friend, then just write a message that I'll be 5 minutes late. Writing that
okay,
small simple message shows how punctual and how organized and how concerned you are about others, and you respect their time. ऐसा नहीं कि अरे ठीक है वेट कर लेगा, क्या है 5 मिनट. Time is money, time has value. खोया हुआ वक्त वापस नहीं आता है, so you cannot do that. So I think these are few points which are very relevant in day to day life. I hope it helps whoever asked the question.
I guess you have covered most of the questions. So this is from Ojas Divedi. So Ojas Divedi is asking that whether I see my whenever I see my favorite food on the plate, I do get very excited. How do I convey my excitement in a proper, disciplined way?
Very
This happens with
tricky
most of us,
question.
I guess. Yeah,
See, I think, of course, when you're with your friends, you don't have to follow so much of rules and regulations and norms, and you can just have fun and show that, yeah, wow, it's so
you are
delicious, the food
excited.
is so good. Yeah. So it's
Yeah,
okay, but of course आप प्रोफेशनल मीटिंग में ये नहीं कर सकते कि वाओ ये मेरा फेवरेट खाना आ गया, because the
right,
focus is not food that time, the focus is the meeting.
right,
So
right. Absolutely.
depends, if you are in a professional or personal setting, and it is always okay to express with your friends, with your family, but you cannot be so loud that you disturb other people on the on the tables beside you. Wherever you
Right.
are, you cannot disturb other people. So ठीक है, ही हा कर रहे हो, बहुत आप loud हो, and the other person is getting disturbed. ये नहीं होना चाहिए. Have fun in
Right.
life. Of course, we all have to be happy. We all have to enjoy. When we go out, we don't follow so many norms and rules and regulations. It is completely okay. जहां तक कि
Yeah.
आप दूसरे आदमी को परेशान नहीं कर रहे हो, एवरीथिंग इज फाइन. और अगर कोई कर भी रहा है तो फिर मेरे साथ क्या हुआ, वी वर आई हैड गॉन फॉर a very quiet dinner with my family, and my parents were there, and the other group, that was a very loud group, and it was disturbing even our conversation. We couldn't even speak
Okay.
to each other. So I politely went and said ki, see, I've come with my parents for a quiet dinner, and
Okay.
we want to talk and converse, but can you be little less loud?
Considerate. Yeah.
So see the
Right.
expression, the facial
Hmm.
expression, my hand gestures, my body language, the way I'm saying it, I'm using please. It makes a lot of difference. ऐसे आप बोलोगे तो कोई भी offended नहीं होगा, and people will listen to you. So
Yeah.
have fun, enjoy, show your excitement. Life is all about having fun. और क्या है? But
Yeah. Right.
दूसरों को तकलीफ मत दो.
Yeah. Be considerate.
खुद भी
Right.
खुश रहो, सबको खुश रहो. Be happy and spread happiness around.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll take probably the last question of the session. That is from Purnima Chhabra. Purnima Chhabra ji is asking that people take these things very casually. And even if we tell them, they keep repeating and don't take it seriously. I guess she is talking about the conversation we just had. So, how can we explain them? I guess this is already answered. If you like to add something else.
See, you, as I said, the other person has to be. Hello, is the network?
Yeah, I guess.
Am I audible?
No, actually, your voice is breaking,
Okay, let me
and
see.
your video has also.
Window. Then let me see if I can connect to the
Sure.
other network.
Hello. Yeah, you are
To
audible.
Wi-Fi. I'm audible and visible.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Sorry for the
Okay.
inconvenience. I think I was using Wi-Fi. Now I've switched over to the other one. So
Okay.
I have already said that if the other person is open to accept and learn, then only you can say something to others, but in a very polite manner. And sometimes you just have to ignore, depending on the relationship that you have, and maybe you'll never meet that person in future. So सभी को ज्ञान देना तो जरूरी नहीं, you cannot change the whole world, right? So
Right, right.
depending on the situation, the relationship, I think one has to take the call.
Okay. We are running short on time. Can you just quickly answer this question by Nisha Haryani ji? हम कौन सी एज से टेबल मैनर्स एंड एटिकेट सीखना चाहिए? Like, हमें कब से शुरू कर देना चाहिए?
Okay, so I think if you are married and if you are a mother, then I feel if the lady of the house, she knows table etiquette and manners, then that gets automatically imbibed into the children and the family members. So I think a mother, if a mother knows all the etiquette and the rules and she follows it, then the children also learn. And as we say, if we do something for 21 days, it becomes our habit. If we do
Habit.
something for 90 days, it becomes our lifestyle. So they will grow up with those values, ethics. So I think that right age would be from childhood. बिल्कुल बचपन से आप सीखिए. Because when I was 42, I learned all this. ठीक है, हम बहुत कुछ follow करते थे, बहुत कुछ मुझे नहीं पता था. But I always felt काश मुझे पहले से पता होता. So I think it has to be imbibed from childhood. Maybe not the fine dining etiquette की कैसे fork and spoon, maybe not to a 5-year old, but gradually that person, that child will also learn. So
Right.
etiquette एकदम बचपन से, it should be from the childhood itself. But nevertheless, जब जागे तभी सवेरा. So
Right.
अभी आपको पता चले तो start learning now. It's never too
Yeah,
late. It's never too late to
absolutely.
learn something new. Age is no barrier, and we should always keep upskilling and upgrading ourselves in life. I believe in that. I call myself a constant work in progress. Every day I try to learn one thing. आप सोचो अगर मैं रोज एक चीज सीखूंगी तो 365 दिन के बाद I learn 365 new things.
That is true.
Yeah.
True.
So there's no age to learn. Start teaching, start learning at whatever age you are. And start teaching your children from now only.
Okay, so this now brings us to end of this session, but before that we have two things to cover, that is both the winners. So ma'am, as we have already told you, you have to pick up one best question among all we have discussed, and yeah, go ahead.
So I think the person who asked that uh, what was the first or the second question? They were really interesting. I think
It was regarding the age, like it was from, I guess, Ruchi. Can we
you
have
have the
that
chat.
question? Yeah, I'm just.
The first or the second question, I think that was really good. There was someone,
Can
Miss
we have
Chabra.
the first? Yeah, Purnima Chabra. There was this person.
Yeah, what was her question? Do you have that?
Okay, so we have a question by first question.
Yes,
This
I
was
like, yeah,
Riya
this
Singh.
question. Riya Singh Verma. I like this question, that why table manners important regardless of age and status in life? And how does table manners reflect our personality? I like this question. Yes. Sorry, I got the name wrong.
Okay,
I like this question because it answers a lot of things. Yeah.
got your point. Yeah. So congratulations, Riya Singh Verma. And the second part is will be done by our Mr. India, जो हमारे lucky draw निकालेंगे. So we'll have the lucky draw in a while. Okay, so Barkha Shah is the winner for the lucky draw.
Oh, wow.
And
Congratulations, Barkha.
congratulations. Yeah, so the winners can contact on the following number I'm going to say right now. So kindly note it down. I hope you guys are ready. 9818366242. I'll repeat. 9818366242. So congratulations to the winners and thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for coming to this show and talking about all the necessary stuff we have to follow from now onwards. And I hope the audience have taken the giveaway takeaways from all these points. And there was, I'm sorry, I'm asking one more question. There was this
Shoot.
question that stuck my Yeah, so it was regarding how we eat from our hand. You have told us already that there should be three fingers and everything, but what if we find someone eating with their hand and we are not like really comfortable in the environment? There are some situations where everyone is using maybe their fork and we are not comfortable that there's one person who is eating with their hand. So should we go and just intrude and say, "Can you use the spoon?" I guess that would
No,
be,
I think I've answered this already. If
yeah,
a person is comfortable eating with hands, especially if you go to South, you'll see that they always eat with
right.
their hands and they are quite okay with it. So if they are not troubling you, if they are
Hmm.
not unhygienic, if they are not causing
Right.
any harm to you, if they are respectful, then what is our problem? Let
Yeah,
the
that is
person
also.
eat with hands. If that person is not making noise, not making sounds, not touching, मतलब झूठा वूठा नहीं कर रहे हैं and not disturbing others, झूठे हाथ से कुछ दे नहीं रहे, then how does it matter? We should respect each and every culture.
Absolutely.
In some, we have some
Absolutely.
customs where we have to eat with hands. We Indians have to. So don't judge others. Don't judge others
Yeah.
only कि वो हाथ से खा रहा है कि फोक से खा रहा है.
Yeah.
इंसान अच्छा
Right.
होना चाहिए. आपकी
Yeah.
ह्यूमैनिटी होनी
Absolutely.
चाहिए. आपको
Absolutely.
रिस्पेक्ट होना चाहिए. आप वैल्यू करिए, कंसर्न दिखाइए, एम्पैथी होनी चाहिए. यू शुड बी काइंड. आई थिंक दीज वैल्यूज आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. और अगर वो आपको ट्रबल नहीं दे रहा है तो आई डोंट थिंक यू शुड इंट्रूड. इन फैक्ट यू शुड रिस्पेक्ट एंड यू शुड नॉट जज ऑल्सो. हम
Okay.
हमेशा यही सोचते रहते हैं कि ये क्या कर रहा है, वो क्या कर रहा है. फोकस ऑन
Right.
आवरसेल्व्स.
Right. Right.
Just be happy,
Yeah.
you eat properly, whatever your conscience says, you do that. That is all. I think I'll be repeating again if I'll be saying something.
Yeah. Right.
So
So I'll
complete
just,
respect for others.
yeah,
Yes.
got your
And
point.
one
Thank
third
you
of
so
the
much.
fingers, not using the
Right.
palm and using one hand. Don't mess the entire plate. बस वैसे ही अच्छे
Right.
से
Right.
खाओ. It is good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got your point. Yeah. So there's one more thing. The winners need to contact on the number within like 2 days to claim their prizes. And ma'am, if you want to add anything else, you can do it from your end. With this, we come to end of our show.
Okay, so I think I've covered almost everything. Of course, dining etiquette is a very uh, like it's a vast subject. We have not
Yeah.
covered everything, but as I said, just be kind, be helpful, don't be judgmental, be organized, uh, respect others, value others, have concern for others, be empathetic. I'm just going to repeat all the messages again because that is important. And if you have your core values and ethics in place, I think most of your etiquette part is taken care of. And don't neglect or don't undermine the soft skills. It is very important. कुछ लोग बोलते हैं अरे हम तो पढ़ लिए, I have the hard skills, I have the technical skills. No, it is very important to have the right soft skills, at least whatever is required in your arena, in your field. And basic etiquette has to be followed. Thank you. And spread happiness. Stay safe. Take care of yourself. Take care of the family. And keep smiling always. Keep
Thank
smiling.
you so
Yes, the
much.
best etiquette, the best accessory, the best makeup that you can carry is your smile. Smile can
Absolutely.
take you miles, or and it is the curve जो सब कुछ straight कर देता है, बोलते हैं ना. So just keep
This is,
smiling and
yeah.
enjoy life and be kind. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much,
And thank
ma'am.
you,
Thank
Pinkish
you.
Foundation, for having me over. Thank you, Kanksha.
Thank you.
This talk was really interesting, and the questions were also very interesting. Thank you, Ruchi Jain, for considering me for for this talk. I hope I added some value, and if you have even one takeaway, the last message would be implement that. If you heard this talk and if you implement one learning the next 21 days and it becomes your habit, then I'll be happy that I added some value. So just take one learning and implement it. That would be my message. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thank you.